And you're not making it better. I have anxiety. 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 I actually do not have high anxiety. Hey folks, Lester here, and happy Friday. Friday mornings have become my favorite mornings. I got a new shirt. That was gifted to me. It's kind of that dry, I forgot what they call that material. It looks to be warm, but it's actually the dry fit. They don't call that dry fit. They call that dry something, but it's a really light material. It's kind of has a long horn over on one side, and it has some camouflage to kind of help me man up a little bit, kind of keep it manly with my camo. And the sweet lady said it would go great with my camo shorts. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but I will certainly try that on a little bit later. Yes, I know you're already going to start screaming and hollering that black does not go with blue. Black does not go with blue. Black does not go with blue. Guys, I don't know. I don't care, but I'll take my hat off if that makes you feel any better. But the new Longhorn Lester hats that we ordered last time did come in blue, not in gray. So I still, to make you happy, if I decide to wear this out, then I will make sure that I wear one of my gray I'm a Survivor hats, not the blue Longhorn Lester hat. Thank you for all the compliments. Black goes with everything. Well, if that's the case, I'm putting my blue hat back on. Hold on. Wait. Lester, black goes with everything, even blue. Elizabeth, you said it. So if Elizabeth says so, then I'm going to wear it because I like it, okay? And honestly, I don't care. I made a video recently where I said, I just don't care. Sometimes I just don't care. But the hat is fine. Thank you very much for that. I am blessed to see so many folks. The first lady who I was able to grab was from Sweden. And that just baffles me. I'm thinking, Sweden? I just can't imagine how they don't have better things to do in Sweden than sit here and watch me. But I am blessed, and I'm just, it's very flattering and such a neat blessing. It really is. So I just want to say hi to everybody. I can't call you out individually, but man, there's some folks from all over the country and all over the world, and I'm just seeing all kinds of stuff from Smoky, New York, Smoky, Connecticut. People are starting to call yourselves the Smoky States. I am so darn sorry. I've seen videos and pictures of some of those states, and they have all that. The air quality must be horrible for you guys having to breathe that stuff. One lady messaged and said that she's having a really hard time because they've asked everyone to stay indoors. And she says she's having flashbacks to the heart of the pandemic when everyone was forced indoors and to stay away from each other. And she goes, it's not that we're being forced to stay away from each other, but they don't want us breathing the air. She's older and she already has respiratory issues. And your heart breaks for people, who are dealing with that. And then the folks up in Canada who were just watching millions of their beautiful acres, all that beautiful country just on fire, and they can't seem to put that stuff out. And so I know nothing about fighting fire. I too have had my issues with not forest fires, but I've had some pretty doozies over here. And there's a science behind it, and I do not know the science. Let me get that out of your way. Some of y'all can't see because of that. It is Friday, and I am finishing up my first week with Lex. And I compiled a little snippet I want to show you all of some of our funner and gooder activities that we've done this week. Of course, you don't video everything, but let me play for y'all about a minute of some of the highlights of our week that I did capture on video, but I've not put to video yet. Can you reach that high?
Yeah, I can. All right, you have still. You have to wait.
Lift it, and just let it pour all down the entire, there you go. Let it pour down the entire tray. Great, son. Lex, what score would you give your pond swimming experience between 1 and 10?
9. It's because the water's not blue.
And he hates it because the water's not blue. Connor, how about you?
I say it's a 10.
I was telling Lex and Connor that we have two sides of the property, and at the other property, I call them the bigs and the littles. But I can't do that here because the birds are not littles. The birds are bigs. And so Connor says you can still call them the bigs and the littles based on their what, Connor?
Head size.
Their head size. Connor's like, yeah, so this side of the pasture are still your littles based on their head size. That's brilliant, Connor. And the other side is the bigs because it's cows, horses, and donkeys, and they all have large heads. So Connor, if you had to be a big or a little, who would you be based on head size? Are you asking for more trouble?
I'm not.
Yes, you are.
See, I look exactly like you now.
Anyway, I think y'all get the idea. Let me remove that. We've had a lot of fun trying to grab moments and grab memories. I'll tell you what, I was a little bit scared to make the video actually, but I'll go ahead and tell you, Lex is having a wonderful time, and we've had such a blast, man. And we've done things that are not a part of his daily routine. And so I remember that the first day that I went down to the pond and we had Connor and Lex jumped out in that water. We're all out there swimming. You know, I go swimming every day. I swim out with the animals, the dogs, every day. But to get Connor and Lex out in the pond, they were both very reluctant at first. And they finally got out in the water and they had the most amazing time. I filmed 30 minutes of these boys playing and swimming and racing and everything that kids do in the water. And I thought to myself that this is costing me nothing. This really, watching them laugh and play and wrestle and race and jump and splash, and it's costing me nothing. But I was, you know, I can't keep my big mouth shut. I cannot keep my big mouth shut. And in my video, I made a statement that was pretty profound. And I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings by it. But what I said was, I remember whenever LE and me, his mom and I went our separate ways. He was young and we went our separate ways. And I think that purposely she would take these just elaborate getaways. When I say elaborate, we're not the kind of people who can afford Disneyland, Disney World, you know, Universal Studios. But every summer she would take and go on these just amazing trips with Lex with LE that I couldn't go on. You know, I was the one paying child support. Now, listen, this is not an anti-child support thing. And for all of you moms that have to do it and without having much support, I totally understand the need. And so this is not about that. I'm going a different angle. So don't get defensive. Please hear me out first. But what I'm saying is, because of the fact that you are paying child support, it's sometimes hard to still have money to do things with your kids if you're not the one receiving the child support, if you're paying the child support. And so I kind of had a little bit of resentment that every summer LE was going off with his mom to some really neat destination for a week. And I'm sitting there twiddling my thumbs, waiting for my month to spend with LE. And then when it was my month, there was no elaborate trips, there was no vacations, it was just us sitting around, doing what farm kids do, swimming in the river, taking four-wheeler rides. And I was so happy. Ellie made a video a while back, and he was talking about his childhood memories. And listen, I'm not laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm not bragging. I'm not making fun of. But what I said was, in all of those childhood memories, not once did Ellie mention any of those very expensive trips that he and mom took to Florida or California or anywhere else, to Colorado, to New York City. And Ellie's been everywhere, y'all. With his mama, he's been everywhere. And so it made me feel happy to know that a lot of the things that he and I did as growing up, uh, he loved and enjoyed, and those have stayed with him, from our late night four-wheeler rides to just so many different adventures around the farm. And then this is where I'm going to get in trouble. This is where I know that y'all are going to come at me. So I'm preparing myself now to y'all to start throwing knives or throwing forks or whatever y'all throw around your house. Chanclas, if you're Spanish and you throw chanclas, like that means flip-flops in Spanish, then start throwing them. I said that sometimes I think that those vacations and those getaways were more for mama and her social media, and for everyone to see what a great mama. And there's just no knock on Ellie's mama. This goes to a lot of men and women who try to show off their kids when it's really more about the adult than it is the kid. But you know what? Let me use my kid as an excuse to highlight it and show everybody. And so here we are this summer with Lex, and we don't have any plans to travel or go anywhere. Now, listen, times have changed and we could afford it now, whereas when Ellie was younger, we could not. But I don't think that I need to plan a getaway for Lex to have a great summer with his dad, because what I'm watching is him having fun around the farm. I do have him doing some chores. He's helping me out. I'm not able to read comments. I don't know if y'all are supporting me or if you're hating me right now. I don't know. I got my glasses. I'm scared to put them on. I don't know what y'all are going to be saying about me right now. And I just can't see how small, with the small font, and how fast everything is flying by. But I hope you at least understand my perspective and my side of the story. And so now that Lex is the same age as LE was when his mom and I divorced, I'm not interested in going to Universal Studios or to Disneyland or to Disney World or to Colorado skiing trips or to New York City or to anything else. Those may be great places to go, but I feel like what Lex wants to do is what's going to make him laugh and smile and play. And just, if you can see that grin, and I'll tell you what, we've done so many things around here, and I've been able to hear that laughter and hear that joy. And from us wrestling in our little inflatable hot tub, to us playing in the pond and us feeding the ostriches and him being a part of the farm. Last night I don't know why I'm feeling emotional about that. Last night we had a pretty deep conversation, and I says, when LE was your age, he never ever saw himself running his own farm. And here he is at 23, and he's pretty much in charge of his very own farm. And I says, there's days that I don't go over there. So LE and Megan, along with a little bit of help from Ben, are doing everything. And I'm like, can you ever see yourself doing that kind of stuff here? And he goes, yeah, it's not that hard. Okay. He's still a kid. He's still a kid. Because I think that LE would tell you in a heartbeat how hard it is. LE might not tell you. LE might not tell you how hard it is. But I know LE, and I see his facial expressions, and I see the overwhelming responsibility of running and maintaining a farm. I see the hurt whenever he's not able to save an animal. And so, no, I know that I want to do it right with Lex and make sure that he learns the way of the farm. It's never, guys, I've said this before. I'm not going to tell my kids what they have to do when they grow up. It's always going to be an option. But I'm just happy to be able to be there and provide them the know-how. So if that day ever happens and they decide to go that route, then they can do that and be a little bit more at ease and comfortable with what they're doing. My dad came yesterday. My dad came over to the property. Connor had been here for a couple of days, and with Lex, and then mom and dad came by to visit and to take Connor back home with them. Stephanie and Buddy wanted Connor back home, and they weren't able to come. I could have drove him home, but Connor just wanted to stay. He wanted to stay as long as possible. So mom and dad wanted to drive up and have a look around. And it was nice, me and dad getting out and me being able to show my dad some things that he hadn't seen in a while. This was not his first time here, but things have changed so much and so fast around here that it was like a whole new experience. They had not seen they had not seen the property up front after we had got it cleared. And then I was shaking my finger at my dad this morning. I was shaking my finger saying, Dad, he beat me to my own video. He did. My dad beat me to my own video. It should have been my job to show you that front pasture, and my dad beat me to it. And it should have been my job to show you guys the springs that we found, the natural springs in that pasture. And my dad beat me to it. So if y'all go to my dad's channel and you watch, enjoy, you're getting a sneak peek. I promise you, I have all of those videos. But you know the way I am, I've always told y'all, I'm not someone who can be, I'm not a procrastinator. I plan way ahead. So I have videos lined out for the next 5 or 6 days already. Now, please don't be mad about that. It's just my own sense of security, knowing that I'm not going to ever have you wake up and not have a video ready. That's a part of what I do and what I've been doing for so long. So, yes, I have the video of Mr. Leo's last day. I have it's an emotional video of Mr. Leo and his last day. I have the video of Mr. Leo allowing me to show him getting off of his tractor. A man who is disabled, handy capable is the word that we're trying to use these days. A very handy capable man who's using his upper body strength to get himself from his tractor down into his wheelchair, from his wheelchair into his truck, requiring very little assistance here and there. And he's been maintaining this amazing business, and his business is thriving. He's doing very well. He doesn't have a day off for months ahead. And so that right there tells you a lot about this man and what he's been able to do. And we've become friends. I've known his wife for, I would say, probably 4 years, because she runs the taqueria right there by the Plum Grove property. And so I caught myself eating there at least once or twice a week, maybe 4 or 5 times. Who really counts that kind of stuff, though? Really, do we have to count that kind of stuff? And so I've known Miss Daniela for a while, eating at her taqueria. And I always knew that her husband did land clearing. They live next door, so I could always see his tractors, his equipment. But we've never really needed land clearing until we did the property buy from Joanne. And we wanted to have that back area turned into pasture and future grazing land for our cows. So it was my first chance to meet Mr. Leo, get to know him and his helpers, his crew, we call it. And wow, what a neat man with just amazing life experiences, and a survivor by every, yeah. And so, no, I'm all over the place today, aren't I? I'm just realizing I am all over the place. We're talking about Lex and Connor and my mom and dad, and now Leo, and my dad beat me to my own videos. But I know you will still enjoy the videos when they come out. I'll try to find a way to have a unique perspective on everything. And I appreciate you guys loving and showing so much support to Mr. Leo. He is not one who does a lot of promoting of his business. And here's why. In Plum Grove, with as much growth and development as they have, and with him actually owning the taqueria right there where he parks all of his stuff, he gets most of his business from his wife. I mean, people come in to eat, and if they ask, then she tells them, you need a driveway, you need land cleared, you need a foundation for your home, whatever kind of work they can do with his tractors, that's what they do. And when we were shaking hands and saying our goodbyes yesterday, I said, so where are you off to next? And he goes, oh. And that's kind of the face that he made. And he just said he has like 4 or 5 driveway jobs. And that's where someone buys a piece of property, but they have no access to their property. So they go by and clear a driveway, put a culvert, do all the culvert work and that kind of stuff. He has some foundations where people want to bring in a home or have a slab poured, and he does foundation work by bringing in dirt and spreading all your dirt. It's just tractor equipment. And so I've always said that I will always plug a small business if they are quality people and they do a good job and they're not going to ever try to screw anybody over. And Mr. Leo has done anything but. There's a few jobs he could not get to at I'm a Survivor because it was so wet. And you all saw the videos of his tractor being bogged down and him just not being able to do the pond over there. But he's given me his word he'll come back and finish it. And I paid him in full, trusting that he will at some point come back and finish that small pond. And then I know I have tons of fence work to do over there. I have fence work to do over here. And I will get to all of that. Not today, though. Fridays are my favorite day of the week. And I've already told you why. I think I even said it on this morning's video that I love Fridays because knowing that I'm going live at noon, it tells me not to get up and get out there and get all nasty. I don't want to come in and be all blistered and red and just where I can't see and I just sweat pouring off of me. So what I do on my Friday mornings is stuff that doesn't get me as hot. I will go out and drag the pastures after coffee. We always have coffee. And this morning I walked the goats down to the river with my cup of coffee. And then when we finally separated, Jamie went to her Zoom calls where she's at now. Lex is still sleeping. And I started my jobs. I went to the side by side and I drugged the pastures, spreading out all that manure and getting all the pastures nice and cleaned up. There's not a dirty job. I don't have a bunch of dust flying around me and I don't sweat. And then normally I would be headed over to Tractor Supply after that. Today I did not go because Jamie needs to go with me, but she can't go till her work is done. So we're going to wait until this afternoon and then drive into Tractor Supply together. So I've kind of been sitting here twiddling my thumbs. I've been kind of sitting here like waiting for my 12 o'clock countdown so I could go live because I'm fidgety like that. So hi to Heather, who's in Montana. I have finally retired, but I like to keep busy. That's good, Elizabeth. That's what you have to do. And so that's kind of what I'm doing. Now, I'm not officially retired from teaching. I'm still a certified school teacher. And I always tell myself at if any point social media begins to fail me, or if you guys decide to go somewhere else, or if you find a new channel and you decide to start watching and our numbers drop enough to where I can't make a living from the videos, then I will return to the classroom. Now, not to worry, I'm still going to make videos. Don't forget, I made videos for 2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah, it's been doing 5 years now. So 2.5 years that I made videos every day, even though I taught full time and coached in the afternoons. It just requires a whole lot of work on the weekends. And then driving the bus for the other 2 years, that was easy. That was just a morning, afternoon gig, and I'd make the videos in the middle of the day. And that wasn't hard at all. But I always worry about if at some point, okay, so I hear everyone screaming. There's something going on. Something's going on and people are screaming. I don't know what. I'll try to pay more attention to if someone's being a jerk. Hey, but jerks abound, y'all. There are a lot more jerks on the internet than what there are kind, decent people. I can promise you that. So, well, the unfortunate thing is whoever this particular person is, I don't know because I haven't seen it. I'm trying to talk. And I will say this. Look how blessed I am about this. There ain't no way I can open all of these right now. I am going to. I'm going to open them and read them, and I'll try to read a few before the live is over today. But I did want to just kind of talk about Lex and some of the fun that we've been having. Now, listen, don't think it's all fun and games. Anyone who's at home right now with children or grandchildren, you know there's a lot of work involved with kids. Lex goes through at least 2 or 3 pairs of clothes a day. I don't know why, and I don't know how, but Lex goes through so many sets of clothes. So that means that we're constantly putting clothes in the washer. Jamie's washing and drying, and we're taking clothes back out to the camper where he likes to stay. And then the hardest thing about Lex, though, is every afternoon he wants to. So Jamie always cooks us lunch, but in the afternoon, Lex wants something of his choice. And so last night he wanted drumsticks from the chicken Popeyes. We go to Popeyes there in Livingston. It's about a 15-minute drive from here. So I had to get up and drive to Popeyes. Now, and then they don't have a drumstick only order. And guys, he's 12, so he eats like 6 or 7 drumsticks. So trying to find them to cook him 6 or 7 drumsticks, and he wants biscuits. He has to have the Popeyes biscuits. So that makes it kind of tough. The night before that, it was Chick-fil-A. The night before that, it was McDonald's. So I know what you're going to say. Lester, you're a horrible dad by feeding him all that junk food. Like I said, Jamie does cook a really delicious lunch for us every day. And I kind of don't think that Chick-fil-A chicken, maybe fried chicken, y'all, but come on now. They're kiddos. We all had it when we were young, and most of us are still alive and kicking right now. And it's not like we're supersizing everything he eats and he's getting supersized meals on stuff. So just let me have some fun this summer. And I don't mind getting out and driving to town. Now, someone says Popeye's chicken is great. In my opinion, it's the best. Popeyes is not a sponsor of the page, and they've never sent me a penny, and I've never got anything for free. But I do agree with you that if it was just based on my opinions, and everyone's entitled to an opinion, Popeye's chicken is my favorite as well. I love the crispy, and I also like it spicy. However, I don't like the drumsticks. I'm a breast kind of guy. I'm still trying to find the person who's being a jerk to you all in the comments. I haven't forgot about you. When I start seeing people scream and holler at somebody, all I'm trying to do is spot that particular name. But you do have to know that everyone is entitled to an opinion. And so we try really hard not to discriminate based on your opinions. As far as blocking, deleting, I just try to remind folks that when you come to a live, you have to understand that this today is a live that I'm presenting. So it's the same way if you go to your work and your boss wants to present and talk about work related stuff. I think all of us have gone to a work meeting, a business meeting at work, a staff meeting, whatever you call it. And so it would never be your place at a staff meeting to keep jumping up and shouting out whatever your agenda is, whatever your agenda might be. That's just, there's no class and no couth in that. And so ultimately today it's kind of like my agenda. And so we talk about things that I have on my agenda. And so for anyone in the comments who keeps shouting out, I don't know if it's religious or political or some kind of disdain or distaste you have for me, or maybe you're trying to flirt with some woman. I don't know, y'all. But yeah, that's just not the right place to do that. What I always say is that you could make your own channel. Seriously, that's what I tell everybody. You can create your own channel, and that way you could be the one in the big picture. It could be everyone looking at you, and you could say whatever you wanted to say. And you would find out real fast that sometimes you'll say things that people would agree with. And most times you're going to say things that people will not agree with. Man, there's a lot of people who are upset because they like KFC And then I keep seeing this. I've never in my life, I don't know this place. Bojangles. Tracy says, I like Bojangles chicken. I don't know Bojangles. That must be something they have up north because I've never heard of Bojangles. But I hope that's not some kind of a joke, like some kind of a joke or something. No, they have Bojangles in Georgia, says Betsy. Bojangles is her first job from North Carolina. All right, well, would you believe that I've never heard or never seen a Bojangles anywhere in Texas? So there you go. But no, I'm seeing a lot of other chicken places that I do know about. KFC, I've eaten there plenty of times. What I like about KFC or the KFC meals. Hold on. So Jackson says, Lester, they should make a movie about you. Okay, what? Why? Where did that comment go? Hold on. Lester, they should make a movie about you. Where did that go? Guys, I have all 4 of the platforms on right now. Okay, Jackson, I don't know where your comment went. Listen, they're going to make a movie about me. Okay. And so here's my question to you. So let me tell you, first of all, the problem when someone gets a movie made about them. Y'all ready for this? This is going to be crazy. Okay. This is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. Let's talk about some movies that have been made about people. And then let's compare the actor to the actual person. Let's start off with this World War II general who we've all heard about. And his name was, I think it was George Patton. Now, I promise you that most of us would not be able to go pick out George Patton in a lineup and know who George Patton is. Now, he's probably dead now, but I'm saying if he was alive, we wouldn't know what George Patton looked like. But who was that fella who played George Patton? Who was that guy that played George Patton in the movie? Please help me here in the comments. Who was that guy? Was it someone Scott? Who was the guy that played Patton in that movie? Not Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell did not play Patton. George C. Scott. Okay, thank you. If I had prizes, I would give y'all a prize. I don't do prizes. So, Lynn, thank you. It was George C. Scott who played Patton in his movie. Now, don't y'all think that we would recognize George C. Scott, but we wouldn't. We have no idea who Patton was. If you saw him in a picture, you would not know. But if you see George C. Scott, you'd be like, oh, that's Patton. And then here's one that's going to probably hurt a lot of people's feelings. You ready? Oh my gosh. I hope that this does not hurt your feelings, but I feel like I'm speaking my truth. How about that sweet young Latina named Selena? Selena. You all know Selena. Bitty bitty bum bum, bitty 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 bum bum, or something like that. Okay. Cada vez, cada vez, I got a little Spanish flair in me. Okay, guys, I think that most of us would probably have never recognized the actual Selena, but we see Jennifer Lopez up there, and we're like, oh, that's Selena. That's Selena's. Yeah, and so Selena passed away. I do know that. Yes, but there was a movie about her, and the actress that played Selena was Jennifer Lopez. And so we all fell in love with the character of Selena played by Jennifer Lopez because unfortunately, this is true. Most of y'all, most of us, me included, had never heard of Selena until after she passed. And then we see that there's a movie about her. Really great movie, one that I watched many times, but all I know is about Jennifer Lopez as the actress. And then, there's more than that. Here's one that y'all might disagree about this one over here. This is one that you might disagree with me, but let's talk about Loretta Lynn, and she sang a song with somebody, and it was called Coal Miner's Daughter. Coal Miner's Daughter. And so fine, Loretta Lynn was, I guess, more popular with our demographic, I would think. And so maybe you might would recognize Loretta Lynn. But unfortunately, guess what? When Patsy Cline played that character in the movie Coal Miner's Daughter, Sissy Spacek. Did I say Patsy Cline? Sissy Spacek. Patsy Cline. Wait, wasn't it Patsy Cline? Sissy Spacek. Sissy Spacek? Who's Patsy Cline? Sissy. You're all saying Sissy. You're all saying Sissy. So don't y'all think that more people would recognize Sissy Spacek as Loretta Lynn than would recognize Loretta Lynn in person? Yeah, if I saw Loretta Lynn, I wouldn't recognize her. If I saw Sissy Spacek, I'm like, oh, there's Loretta Lynn. Patsy Cline is a country singer. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. You know what? I don't know what I'm saying. There's more than that, though. There's a lot of movies where someone played their role and they actually made that person somebody. So here's my big question for whatever that fellow's name was. Was it Kenneth? I forgot his name. He says, Lester, you should be in a movie. Okay, so here's my thing, Kenneth. I need to know. This is my question, and I'm just curious. Don't be mean. Don't be mean. But who would play my character? Who would play my character? Could I pick Leonardo DiCaprio? Could I pick Leonardo or Tom Cruise? Could I have one of those two guys play my character? If I had a choice, could I have Tom Cruise play me, please? Or Leonardo DiCaprio? I want someone sexy. I want someone sexy. I want people to fall in love, lust. I want people to lust over Lester. Okay, that's what I want. Stop with this Woody Harrelson. That dude's older than I am, and he's bald. Okay, come on now. Could we make my Samuel Jackson? You're being so mean and funny. Tom. Leonardo looks nothing like you. Guys, they don't have to look just like me. We could we could make this Lester movie about Brad Pitt. Yeah, some of y'all are saying, oh, Al Pacino, because I do got my scar, y'all. I do got my scar. Where's my scar at? My camera's not facing the same way as I am. I do got the Rock. Stop. All right, now I'm Matthew McConaughey. Sam Elliott, y'all. That dude's like 90. Sam Elliott is great. He's an amazing actor. But what era are we going to do this Lester video in? We need to decide what era we put Lester in. So I'm in my 50s now, but my story did not start when I was in my 50s. So we need to find someone who might be in their 30s, who we could slowly progress them to look as horrible as I look now. That's what we have to do. Sam Elliott is sexy as hell. Yes, he's a 90-year-old man, though, okay? I'm nothing against 90-year-old men, but I think that when women think about sexy, yes, you do look at the outside physical appearance, but you also want to know that there's something behind that, y'all. And so, sheesh, Kevin Costner. and then someone said Rip from Yellowstone. You know what? I wouldn't be upset with that. But, yeah. No, and then it makes you wonder, this is kind of sad. Morgan Freeman. Okay, I don't know if y'all are serious about I don't even know who to take serious anymore. Val Kilmer. I used to love him as Iceman in Top Gun. This is so funny, y'all. This is so funny. But think about it, though. If you had to have a movie made about your life, which actor or actress would you want to play your role, and who would probably play your role? And so, yeah, I do believe it would probably be somebody like Sam Elliott would end up playing my role. maybe Kevin Costner at his age that he is now, an older Kevin Costner, because he does really good in Yellowstone as the head guy. But I really wouldn't care. I really wouldn't care. But that's funny to think about. Thank you for the fella. I wish I could have saved that name and given you a personal shout out by sticking your name on here. But yeah, who would play you in a movie? That is the funniest thing. Hey, who would play Jamie, y'all? Who would play Jamie in a movie? Now, remember, it doesn't have to be someone Jamie's age now, because the movie of Jamie would have started when she was much younger. So you got to find someone that can play you and where they could do the computer age progression to where it kind of evolves into you. Sandra Bullock. I bet Jamie would like that. Hey, who's that country western singer? Is it Miranda Lambert? Miranda Lambert? Who's a country western singer? A lady who someone says Trisha Yearwood. I think that Miranda Lambert, isn't she like a little bit big boned? And because Jamie would not want to have someone who's like skinny as a rail. Jamie does not want to be portrayed by someone skinny as a rail. Now, listen, I wouldn't mind being portrayed by someone who had some mass to their body. So, no, Miranda Lambert is tiny, not her then. Kelly Clarkson. It's Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson's the one I'm thinking about. That would be a great actress to play Jamie, because she can sing, and Jamie can sing pretty good. I'm trying to picture Trisha Yearwood. I don't know, but I know Kelly Clarkson, and that would be great to play Jamie's role. Yes, that's what it's going to be. So we got Jamie picked out. We're going to go hard on Jamie. Jamie is going to be played by Kelly Clarkson, but we still are up in the air about Lester, because I'm heart set on making sure that I reach out to Tom Cruise or Leonardo DiCaprio, or this would be good. What's that guy's name? He's a singer. He's an actor. He's very, very good looking. Very good looking guy. He plays kind of a hip hop. He's a white guy. He plays hip hop type music. Not Vin Diesel, not Matt Damon, not Garth Brooks. No, he's been in. He was in the movie. Guys, forget about it. Just forget about it. Marky Mark is his other name. Marky Mark. What's his real name? It's not Marky Mark. Not Kid Rock. I'm Kid. What's Marky Mark's real name, y'all? Because he's handsome. What is Marky Mark's real name? Someone tell me Mark Wahlberg. Can I be Mark Wahlberg? Because Mark Wahlberg is built. I find Mark Wahlberg to be attractive. And I say that I am as much of a man as man come, y'all. There's nothing in me that is anything besides just pure man. But I'm man enough to say that I would find Mark Wahlberg as an attractive actor to play my role. Jason Momoa. Okay, this is just when y'all start getting silly. This is when y'all start getting silly and start saying stuff like that. How is Jason Momoa going to come play Longhorn Lester, huh? Seriously, how is Jason Momoa going to come over here with that long hair? He ain't going to wear no shirt. He ain't going to wear a shirt. He's like 7 foot tall, and he's going to be over here standing up amongst Tex. And I guarantee you, Tex will come lay down in his lap. He'll be laying in Jason Momoa's lap, and Tex will be sitting here just cooing, just looking up at him. All of my birds out here are going to put on their party dresses when Jason shows up. Jason will show up over here with that long, flowing, tropical hair, and all of my birds will put on their party dresses and they're going to start like dropping it like it's hot the way my birds do. They're going to all be looking back at Jason like, hello, hello. Yeah, we ain't bringing Jason over here. We are not bringing that guy over here. No way. I refuse to allow him to play my role because he would just. I think that honestly, though, that the fella y'all were talking about, he could play my dad. That was the Sam Elliott could be my dad. That would be great. Sam Elliott could play my dad. We could get Chris Rock to play Jake. That would be Jake would be played by Chris Rock. because he's goofy and silly and a little short, like, hello, you know, and doing all that silly, funny stuff. Now, if you could have The Rock play Lester and Chris Rock play Jake, that would be classic. That would actually be really funny. Oh, here's another one that no one's thought about. Keanu Reeves. Now, Keanu Reeves and I are about the same age. He still has it. He's very thin, though. I think he's very thin, and I don't think that I don't think that Keanu Reeves would be very good with "Come on, littles." Could you imagine Mark Wahlberg calling the littles, or Jason Momoa? Come on, littles. Let's go, little ones. Come on, babies. And they'd be like, you know, the way Annie will like frolic. Yeah, we ain't getting no one too sexy, y'all. We ain't getting anyone too sexy to play my role. Anyway, that was ridiculous. That was just darn ridiculous to talk about that. But that was funny and funny. That was a funny comment. Thank you to that fella for starting that whatever you call that. I can hear Sam Elliott calling the littles. Yes, I can too. But he's old. I'm not that old yet. I may look 90, but I'm not, y'all. Stop saying that. Sam Elliott can play my dad, okay? He can play my dad, not me. Stone Cold Steve Austin. And takes 2 beers and chugs them. Yeah, I can see Stone Cold out there wrestling with Carl, maybe. But anyway, that was fun. Do y'all want to read a couple of these cards that I was sent? I like to read cards. Now, listen, there's everything in here from cards to letters. I don't know what's what. Can I start with this one from Kayla? It's really cute handwriting, to Lester Morrow. And now remember, you can't always read the entirety of a card or a letter. Because some people don't want you. Someone says Sam Elliott is not 90, Lester. He's only 78. Well, I'm sorry, but he looks about 90, okay? And that's just my opinion. Dear Lester, I love watching your videos. My nephew loves your Longhorns, especially Tex. He also likes Annabelle, Santoro, Rip, Moo, Billy, Santana. Please tell all the animals that you have, I'm so sorry for the loss of Dixie. I cried when she passed. I hope you guys are doing okay. I have a cat named Callie. I love Tex so darn much. So this comes from Kayla Furman. Kayla Furman, thank you so much for writing. And it looks like she comes from Eldred, Pennsylvania. So Kayla from Pennsylvania, thank you for loving Tex. And he is a really special fella. Now, guys, I will go ahead and say, since she prompted it, we are having some discussions about what to do with Tex and his family, because I'm not trying to scare anybody. We're not about trying to put fear into anybody, but I know my animals, and I know that they're really starting to run low on grass, like where there's no grass growing. Here we are, the second year in a row in June, and we have no grass growing out in that pasture. We're getting large bald spots, and a cow's mouth is not meant to eat right on the ground level. They have thick gums, and they prefer to eat the top portion of grass stalk. And we don't have any grass stalks growing at all. There's none. Our grass is growing right alongside the ground. It's a kind of a grass that kind of crawls along the ground. I don't know exactly what people call that, but we kind of worry a little bit about our Longhorns. And I told Jamie that I think that we have to admit that we may have overpopulated our pasture. We all know that horses and donkeys eat a whole lot more than cows do. And I do think that we maybe were premature in bringing all the animals over. We're not taking animals back home necessarily. What we have done is cleared some other pasture space, but it's going to take a while for grass to grow. Lester, please find Sean as his package. It took him a month to get it ready, please and thank you. Guys, if there was a package here, I would open it. I like Sean. As a matter of fact, Sean and I have spent several days together, but everyone keeps saying Sean sent me a package, and this is all I have that I've not opened, because opening letters and cards take more time than packages. So I've not received anything from Sean. And so everyone keeps saying every time we do a live, where's Sean's package? Open Sean's package. I don't have a package from Sean. And so I've looked at the porch at the other property. I've looked through all of the mail. And so I don't know. Now, if Sean, the only thing I can think about is if Sean put the address to I'm a Survivor Sanctuary, then it's possible that Ben opened it. But even when Ben opens packages, he leaves everything on the porch at I'm a Survivor. So I'm not purposely ignoring Sean's package. Sean from Zion Creek, he does goat and goat milk products. And he's the one that we paid to come over and build us a goat playground. And our goats still use it today. So I'm so sorry, but that I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I haven't seen a package. So we're talking a little bit about techs and what we're going to do with trying to make sure that we have enough grass, because we still have 2 months ahead of us that are going to be even tougher than the one that we just went through, as far as lack of rain and drought type conditions. And we're feeding tons of grains, dry hay, green hay, and our cows are fine for right now. But man, we are really having to work to keep them in tip-top shape. And I had offered a suggestion on my Longhorn Lester video this morning. And so I would just be happy to see some comments on what you think might be the best solution. So like I said this morning on that video, Lester, none of us video creators are going to do every single thing that you tell us, when you tell us, how you tell us. But what we do try to do is listen to your collective voices. And when we start seeing the same types of suggestions, the same types of advice that you offer, we can't help but say, you know what, let me think about that for a minute. And sometimes we can do it, and many times it has worked. Sometimes we don't do it because we know something that you might not know of why it will not work. But we're not the kind of page that are so hard-headed that we are stuck in our ways and we're always right and we know what we're doing, because we don't. You guys know where we started from the ground up, and you guys know how we got to where we're at now from a lot of your ideas and a lot of your suggestions and a lot of your advice. And so we've always welcomed it. We just ask that you send advice in constructive ways, and you send your criticism in constructive ways. You don't have to bash somebody and tell them how stupid they are, but it's just we listen to collective voices. And so if you have an idea, then put it in there, and what will happen is 20, 30 people will like your comment, and they'll even piggyback off of it. I'm not the only one that reads comments. And so that's how a lot of our instruction, that's how a lot of our methods and practices are done. We may start off doing them the way we've always done them, or the way that we've, learned from our fathers ahead of us, but we have evolved so darn much, especially in the rescue and sanctuary areas. We are 100 times better now than when we first started 5 years ago. And guys, we would have never gotten that way if it weren't for people suggesting ideas. And so if there's in fact something that we can do to better the lives of our animals, I do not have that much pride that I cannot swallow and do what you're suggesting. And most times I tell you, thank you for the ideas. I'll give you one example, and then I'll read this card. A couple of days ago, I made a video where I was trying to help Santoro get to a little bit better health by offering him some mineral blocks, some protein lick, a few other things, some salt licks. And a lot of people in the comments on that video says you put them in a bad spot because they're going to get nasty from all of your chicken poop that's going to rain down on them. And so I didn't go to the property the next day. But when I went the following day, man, if you weren't 100% on point, where I had left those blocks was right below a spot where a lot of birds roost. And sure enough, they had rained poop down. And now poor Santoro couldn't even lick his blocks because he was having to lick around chicken poo. And so I took so I was like, dang, Lester, you don't think about everything. You don't think about everything. And so I did. I washed off the mineral blocks. I moved them away from where they were at. So I'm hoping where they're at now, they're still in the shade, so that he didn't have to eat out in the sun, but they're not directly under where the birds roost at night. And so I listen to ideas and suggestions. And so what I'll have to do next, if this doesn't work, is move his blocks all the way out to his shade tree. So if you don't mind, if you have time, watch that video and give me some ideas in there. It'd be easier to have all the ideas in one central location than to have a few here, a few there, a few there. And that video is the one where I'm actually asking for advice. You don't have to watch the entire video, but just watch enough until you can hear our dilemma and our thought processes. And then I would love to hear back from you on what you're thinking. I know I'm getting close to my hour, so I need to hurry. Oh my goodness. So this is a little bit, either I may have opened it late. It comes from Sheena Jones. She goes, Lester, I want to wish you the happiest of birthdays. I got you this Tractor Supply card. Maybe you can get more to add to it to get yourself something special. So, Sheena, you're going to make me say it. You're going to make me say it. I will gladly take this with me when I go later this afternoon, and we will put it towards whatever we are buying at Tractor Supply. But Lester takes a lot of pride. So thank you for the birthday wishes, and thank you for being so kind to send me this gift card to Tractor Supply. But I take a lot of pride in knowing that I earn my own money. And there's something about that, y'all, that not everyone does, but I want to earn my money. I don't do well taking money. I don't do well asking for money. There have been times where we've had a need. And so we like to earn money. And the way that we earn money is by providing you with entertainment or edutainment. And so, can y'all read my lips and maybe screen record what I'm about to say? And you can pass this along to any video creator that you ever see who's asking you for money. We want to thank you, all the Patreons who are giving to our cause. And we want to thank y'all for the crowdfunding for everybody who's pitched in to help us buy ourselves or to help us pave our driveway and help us build a house and help us get a new kitchen. And listen to me. I don't come from that mindset. I work just like you do. I work hard just like you do. I don't work 2 or 3 days a week like a lot of folks do. Lester works every single day on 2 videos, one for I'm a Survivor and one for Longhorn Lester's, because that's what it takes to 2 things. Number 1, give you what you need. And number 2, provide us with what we need. And so I understand if this is how much my bills cost, this is how much I have to work to pay my bills. That's work ethic, y'all. And so it's not work ethic to go on there and say, we're going to start a GoFundMe and we would like everyone to pitch in. And if you could only send us $10 a month, and then all the people who the Patreons just give us your money, just give us your money, give us your money. And we're going to collect this money in honor of this fallen sweet little dog of ours and all of that. We are blessed to have people who like to pay blessings forward. And my boss told me, I said this so many times before, my boss told me a long time ago, she goes, Lester, never deny anyone a blessing. If people get a blessing from giving, then you accept it with an open heart. Here comes the kicker. If you don't need it, then you pay that blessing forward. You pay your blessing forward to someone that does need it. And it is a blessing to pay blessings forward. It makes you feel so good at Christmas to see your kids happy. And you don't know how good it feels at the Well, last night was at the Popeyes Chicken when our order came to whatever it was, and I asked the lady to keep the change. Guys, it was only $7 or $8. And you don't know the look on that young girl's face. Seriously? Seriously? And so it made me feel so good. The fact that there's something going on in her life where that $7 or $8 change was going to make a difference to her. And so that's the kind of blessings that you can pay forward to other people who need it. Do not trust, do not believe a word out of any video creator's mouth when they tell you they need money. They don't. They don't. Or they have the ability to work like we do. They choose not to. They find an easier way. Then I'll say one last thing and I'll get off my soapbox. If they're not making enough money, then stop making 2 videos a week and make 4. And if that's not making you enough money, then get off your ass and go make 6 videos a week, or make 7 videos a week, or make 2 videos a day. You work for your money. You work for your money. You don't not work and just ask for it because you got cute animals, or you got a sad, sick animal, or you got something. Work for your money. Make them work for their money and pass that along. And take that screen recording and say, hey, I'm not trying to be mean, but Lester says you need to work for your money, because Lester says work for your money, you lazy pieces of POS. POS is what I'm going to call them. POS. If Jamie was here, she'd be pinching me so hard. Jamie would be pinching me so hard right now if she was here, because she's like, you're going to start trouble with everyone on the internet. I don't care, because the internet has become a whole bunch of Jim and Tammy Faye Bakers is what it is. I have 2 that only come to Lester Morrow. 3 that come to Lester. Can y'all give me 3 times? 3 cards. I'm only reading the ones that come to Lester Morrow, not the ones that come to Lester and Jamie. These are only the Lester Morrow cards. If these are all birthday cards, I'm going to feel horrible because I have not been keeping up. The world needs more people like you. The world needs more people who are thoughtful, full of joy. And thank you for all the nice things that you do. That was a poem. It rhymed, and I did not read it in the right voice to make it all rhyme for y'all. This is pretty lengthy, so I'm not going to read the whole thing. But this just talks a whole lot about Dixie and about how sorry this person is for Dixie. And then talks about kindness and brightness and just thanks. And then, yes. And so that's very, very kind. So thank you to Miss Karen for that. Here comes one. Oh, this is funny. Where's that? It's okay to read on video if you want to. So it comes from Andy Cisneros, and they're in New Mexico. So it's okay to read on video if I want to. And I would like to. I think that a lot of people like to hear things. It helps us know that we're not alone in things that we struggle with. So what they've done on the inside of this card is wrote every single name that they could probably think of. And I tell you what, you're a lot better than I am, because if I sat down with a piece of paper and tried to write every single name, I don't know if I could do that. I would forget some. And then the back. Dear Lester, a little bird, or a big bird, asked me to send you this card. They all wanted to express their love for you. I've been watching since early 2020. You and your videos have helped me so much. You talk about people doing God's work, but something you never realize is that you are doing God's work by making videos. Man, you're going to make me get weird here. You've brought so much laughter and love into our lives by highlighting the animals. I love that you've given the animals personalities. Stop giving the haters the time of day. Put your time and your energy into something else. You are a light, you are loved, and it's felt by thousands. Keep doing what you're doing. Let's say, so I'm not going to cry. This is from Andy, and she's from Albuquerque. And that was really sweet that you did that. And it was clever the way that you did it by saying that all of these guys wanted me to know that. So I hope that the animals truly are living their best lives. And I do hope that you receive a blessing and a gift from the videos. I know that I receive a blessing from having someone to talk to daily. And even though it might be, if they were to ever put me on a couch and make me sit down and put my feet up and some doctor come in and plop down beside me with a notebook and start asking me something, and she's like, "Do you have any friends?" I'll be like, "Yeah." "How often do you talk to them?" I'm like, every day, maybe twice a day, because I see it that way. I see it that when you start to recognize so many names, and then you know people, maybe never met most of them, but you just know them from their comments, and then everybody that likes to do the little clink clink coffee click clink with me in the morning. Kelly says, "Lester, we are your couch." Kelly, don't you know that? Can y'all not tell that I'm a total sicko here? "Lester, we are your couch." And she put some sunflowers and some thumbs up and some stars. Kelly and everybody, yes, you are my couch. You are my couch. You allow me to say things that I probably shouldn't always say. You allow me to say things that would not be accepted in the world that we live in, the outside world, whether it's all about canceling you if you don't say what they want you to say, or if you don't believe what they want you to believe, or if you don't agree to go with the narrative they want you to go with. And I've refused to do all of those things. And I'm shocked that I still have people hanging around and coming back for these daily videos. And I appreciate that. The fact that you spend your Friday lunch hour with me means so much. And then y'all are so supportive of the things that we do. Even if we make mistakes, and we make so many mistakes, you're still there to support and to, hey, get them next time, Lester. You'll get them next time. You can't win them all. You can't win them all. And so, um, um, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Here's the last one that I'll read, and then I'll start winding down and let you guys go. "Lester, Ellie and Lex are so lucky to have you for a dad. This must come from Father's Day. Xander is too. They're blessed to have a dad that loves and supports them like you do, a man to show them how to be a real man." And here I go. The real man is going to start crying. "Strong, loving, supportive, and hopefully able to forgive. May the Lord be kind and gracious to you all. May the Lord look on all of you with favor and give you peace. I will forever be your friend." That's beautiful. And so thank you so much for sending that and for those kind words. And I will say that those were powerful words, especially the part about the being able to forgive. I told Jamie that it doesn't matter how old my children get. I will forever show them love and support, and do whatever I can do, and go out of whatever way I need to go out of to make sure that they're happy, and that they find success and they find happiness and joy in life. I'm going to say this, and then I will get off. I've put a lot of pressure onto LE. Y'all, I've put more pressure on my son than what is healthy. And he and Megan are really giving it their all. And for the most part, they're doing an amazing job. They want to find success so bad at the sanctuary. And, taking ownership is important to every man. And I think women feel the same way. I can't speak for women, y'all. And I guess I can speak for men when I say this, that every man wants to be independent and to know that he's fulfilling a purpose in life, and that he's validated in what he does with his time and his efforts and his energy. And I think that women are the same way. Now we may gauge that validation in different ways. I hope that moms know, if you're a housewife mom, that you know that when you see your kids are growing up and they're healthy and they're successful, and you can help them through their schoolwork and um, their love life, when they start having boyfriend and girlfriend issues, and you're able to be there to help them and support them, Man, that is validation when they can get from one day to the next. For you grandmothers who are there for your grandkids, and even for your children when they need you to be a helping hand. Sometimes when a mom can't be a mom and grandma has to step in to be the mom. And I hope that gives you validation of who you are and that how important you are to life and to the success of those kids' lives. And I just want my kids to know that I will never turn my back on them. And no matter what they do, God forbid they do something horrible, but no matter what mistakes they make, I will always love and accept them. Jamie and I were driving by a church, and it really bothered me to see the billboard out front of the church. And it says, behind every grieving father is a foolish son. And I know that was that must be in the Bible. It must be in the Bible. I don't think that the church would have put that out there if there wasn't something about that in the Bible. And I thought to myself, how dumb is that? Sorry, I'm not getting under the Bible, but that was just so dumb because every son is going to do something foolish. Every son, because a son is going to be a son no matter how old he gets. And you can't expect anyone to grow up and be perfect and make every right decision. And so to say that we are all of us fathers who are grieving or is because we have foolish sons, I don't really know the meaning behind that, y'all. I don't know the meaning behind that. But it bothers me to think that any child would have to think that they're the reason that their dad is grieving or their dad is lacking or their dad was not sufficient. That's not a kid's job. It's a dad's job. It's a dad's job to support their kids and love their kids no matter what. No matter what. And we can always, a foolish son is a grief to his father. That's exactly what it said. Thank you, Melton. A foolish son is a grief to his father. And I'm sorry if I paraphrase that incorrectly. I think it's kind of the same thing though, because every son is going to do something foolish. And don't you think that the word grief should be changed to maybe a temporary letdown? Maybe a foolish act that every son and probably every daughter is going to do might be a temporary letdown. But any father who's going to give up and just, I quit on you. You're a disgrace to a son or a daughter because they might make a foolish mistake. I don't get that for the life of me. And I don't know why that's in the Bible, because the Bible normally will not lead you to having these weird questions like that. But a foolish son is a concern to his father. If you see your child making mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, then it might cause you some concern, some hardships. You may have to go back and kind of go to bat for your child a lot more than you want to. But every son is going to make mistakes. I'm a son. I'm a 50-something year old son, and I make a lot of mistakes. And if my dad at his age can't look and see the bright spots instead of only seeing the foolishness that his son makes, then shame on that father, on any father that can't find the good in your children. Athena says, Lester, you're rambling again. Okay, well, I'm rambling again. But I do need to go. Someone said that's Proverbs 17:25. Thank y'all for the Bible folks out there. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch the videos and for your taking the time to comment and offer suggestions. And I'm very proud of my sons. I am, for both of them, for all that they do. Ellie has been a tremendous help in the fact that he and Megan have taken on I'm a Survivor and all of the challenges. And through the heat of the summer, they jumped on at a really tough time for as much water and moist wetting down cooling stations as they have to continually put up with and do. They've tried different things that did not work out for them with the dogs and with different things, but man, they try. And that's how you start off. Jamie and I can sit here and look at each other and remind ourselves of how at the beginning, how much we tried and how sometimes, most times, we were unsuccessful. And yet we just kept going and kept going. And so Megan and Ellie need your support and your love and your encouragement. Let them know sometimes, if you can, how proud you are of them. Let them know that they're doing a great job and how great the property looks. I still go by and I still do my part. I know I just can't say bye, y'all. Do you really want to leave? Does anyone really just want to leave? Do you want to leave that bad? You know, you can actually just click buy whenever you're done. You can just click and leave at any point. But Megan is so nurturing, and she is. Um, so, all right. Well, listen, I will tip my cap at you, and I'll wish you a wonderful weekend, a happy Friday today. I hope you guys can find some way to enjoy yourselves with whatever you're doing this weekend. And if you're finding a way to spend time with your kids or with your animals or with your loved one, or if you're alone, and make sure you pay your blessings forward to those in your neighborhood, those who are around you, those that you see and interact with every day. And just be cautious and be leery of anybody, no matter how good looking, no matter how cute or how funny or how witty or how charming. Don't give away your money to strangers, y'all. And internet people are strangers. Last thing I'm going to leave you with, go to your Google and type in this question: how many internet celebrities are serving time in prison for fraud? Type it in. You'll be shocked at how many people, internet celebrities, who at some point they had large, very large followings, and now they're serving 6, 8, 12 years in prison because they frauded you out of your money. It happens, and you'll be shocked at how many names pop up. Some you know, some that you won't, but you'll hear more. The more you get involved with internet, the more names that you will hear. It's sad. It's sad because people find a target audience, and maybe it's the devil inside of them that finds way to start drawing money out. And they would rather see you go without to have their pockets filled. And I say the same thing. We're blessed, but make them earn their money. If they want to have pockets filled, if they want to buy properties, if they want to buy fancy, pretty houses or nice big trucks or whatever they want to buy with all that money you're sending them, make them earn it. Don't give it to them. Make them earn it. That's all. Because a foolish viewer is a grief to Lester when he sees you giving away your money. That should be scripture. I'm playing. Thank y'all. We love you. Have a wonderful, just such a blessed weekend, because you made our life so good. And we hope that you guys are enjoying yourselves, and stay warm, stay cool, wherever you're at in the country or the world. You do know this. You do know that in some parts of the world, it's wintertime right now, right? You do know that. When it's hot in the northern hemisphere, it's cold in the southern hemisphere. And then when we're in our winters, they're in their summers. Yeah, that's true. Just thought you might would want to know that. See you later.